Okay, for the section 5 will be the watercolor for architecture, with which I told you from the first video that actually I cover everything up. Painting in organic forms or the object is still the same as the painting watercolors on the large object. Yeah, everything the same. You just need to keep adding the details. Start from how I will give the idea that you may start from the light location into dark. It will be easier for your control. Yeah, but it also available that you can paint from dark to light, but it will be very hard, yeah, to adjust your work. And most of the time, as I see in many artists, they usually use for the technique for painting from light to dark. It will be easier, yeah, it will be much easier to control. Okay, so okay, I think this kind of fast. Okay, I will pass like quickly. And you begin your line work. It doesn't have to be this solid line. Yeah, i just I just try to make the building pop up in the shadow area. That's why I try to that's why I try to put the thick solid in this area, so that I can make it look like this, yeah, in the result. Yep. Or even this one, you begin your composition of your work first, and then later on you think about its shadow and light, and start the painting. Yeah, I sometimes I forgot to take a photo in the step, but actually you see that in my picture there will be the step of the this is the first light, right? First layer. This is the second level, and this is the third level. Yeah, mostly my process is just like this. It doesn't have to be like so complicated, because it was sketched anyway. But if you work in a full render, yeah, you may keep painting onto that. Okay, it's kind of different from the sketching, but the major process is the same. Okay, or even this one, I want to paint them in the negative painting. Most of and the building will locate in the forest. Yeah, and come out like this. Yeah, so you can see I using the negative in the painting also, that I not paint all or everything. Yeah, and some of the area just like this one. Yeah, I'm try, even I paint the sky. I try not to penetrate the back layer of this one into this white, because I want this part to be clear. Yeah, clear light as much as I can, because it will make the building pop up and look interesting, just like this part. Yeah, or even this one that I mentioned to you. I study from the other artists. Yeah, start by the you start by the wash over the picture, and the area that you think that, okay, I will use the light to come here. So the darker color should not get into this side. Okay, so I paint them with the really pale white, really pale yellow here and here. Yeah, and I put the darker blue in this side, and then later on it will come out like this. Yeah, I just keep adding the layers of the watercolors into the work. Yeah, or even this one. Yeah, it's kind of strong outline. I try to make it positive and negative mixed together. Okay, first you establish the composition first. Later on you add the overall I have to say is overall colors of the pictures. Yeah, I kind of forgot to take the first step. Yeah, but this is the second. The first step is that I put the this layer first, and paint and put the brown here, and when it's wet in some of the darker area, I add some purples onto it. Yeah, you in this, in the practice, I think it will be benefits for you if you keep study on how to work with the wet on wet. It will be very useful for you, and it will make the pictures look very good, because it will gradient the area for you. It will give you like kind of sense of the how to say that, gradient, the shading. Yeah, because the watercolor, I mentioned from the very first lecture that it is a flat, right? The watercolor is a flat on themselves when you paint. Yeah, when you paint only one color, it will be very hard to do the gradient, just like this one. You see, it's very plain. Yeah, but you can play with the sense of the gradient by adding other colors, or try to play with the water, so it will how to say, it will look like this. Yeah, start from the water, and then go, and then start to be darker area, or the gradient thing. Yeah, it at first it will be hard to control, but later on, if you practice enough, you will know it's nature. Yeah. Okay, and the last one will be adding some more details for the building. Okay, I go back. Oh no, sorry, I'll go back for a bit. Okay, for this one, right? And you add details. You see how I'm come out with the other layers. Okay, and the last one, the last example picture, that I use the water soluble. Yeah, I think it's water soluble. And you can play with many techniques. Yeah, it doesn't have to stick with the pencil. And if you use water soluble, you can enable to gradient some of the area just like this, and you blend them into the water, which come up like this. Yeah, so you'll see in some part it's blend together. The line is taking away. It's like this to this, right? I just use I think I use 3 colors here, the blue and purple, and the last one will be like the brown, little brown on them. Yep. So the step is just like, so I have to say that working on the watercolor, it doesn't have to be like so complicated that much, but you can make it complicated. You see, you can complex yourself, like the work of some artists that I show you. You want to take more time on that, okay, it's up to you. It's okay. Yeah, it can go to that level. And I think the important things that you should keep in mind, that it just keep adding layers of the colors. Yeah, if you add things at first, right, and if it's not stand out, you can wait until it's dry, and then you can add the other layers onto it. Yeah, you can keep adding it. It depends on your paper as well. If your paper is too thin, it will be when the water is mixed together, it will not look very good. Yeah, but if your paper is thick enough, you can keep adding and work on it. Yeah, and the paper is still strong enough to hold many layers of the watercolor. Yeah, that's why I try to recommend you to work on the paper that have 200 grams, or even some of the professional, I think they use like 300 to 400 grams, so that the work will look very impressive, and the colors will stay quite a long time. Yeah, on the paper, it can last like 50 years, something like that, but I think no one still no one still knows, yeah, because the development of the watercolor is just like only 100 years by now. But normally the artists I know, they age like only, they work like 20 years 10 to 20 years, yeah. We don't know it will last long. I'm not sure that we will stay alive enough to see that, yeah. But anyway, that's it. And okay, for the wrap up, in the last section will be like freedom on sketching. Like I introduced to you that, okay, it doesn't have to be, the work doesn't have to be like stick to the pencil or pen only, right? The major idea of when you're working on the when you're working on the architecture sketch is about this 4 factor. But anyway, it can be like any other factor, but I just introduced to you according to my point of view. That is the idea of how we gonna paint the positive and negative, right? And form, or to get just only the form or the outline. And if we stick to the factor that, okay, it will be like just the outline with the positive one, and I will use the water soluble and pen to work on this one, okay, and how it's going to come out, yeah, something like that. This is one of the process. I mean, it can be any process of your work, or any major idea, but I think this diagram can be like help you to get, or to guide you on how you're gonna do your work and keep stick onto the major idea, okay. And okay, let's see some of my work. This, like I told you, it doesn't have to stick with the watercolors only. It can be like the marker, and this is the pen dip in the fountain pen that doesn't have the ink on it, yeah, but I dip them directly and paint, yeah.